Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today I got a brand new update, brand new video on Castor Maritime, ticker symbol CTRM. Now it's been a couple weeks since I did my last video. I usually cover this non-stop, this stock. I really enjoy this company. I really like this company. However, I missed the last couple updates. So I'm going to update you right now. We got a few announcements to go over. Some of them aren't as exciting as we'd like, but don't worry, we're going to get right into this video. Now, but first, if you like free money, if you want to get 2 free stocks, sign up for Webull with my link in the description below. All you got to do is deposit $100 and you will receive 2 free stocks that could be worth up to $1,850. So it's a great platform, especially if you need a new broker. This is definitely great to sign up for. As well, if you want to join the community, join this family, get all these updates on Castor Maritime, please consider subscribing and turning on those post notifications. So I want to just take a quick look at the price today. So today we're down about 1.2%. We're trading at about 36 cents. And if we look at the 5-day, you can see that on Friday, May 21st, the stock did a major dip, a major dive, coming in around 43 cents, crashing all the way down to about 36 cents, which is where we are right now. Now, obviously, if you're following Castor Maritime, you know why it did the big drop here, but don't worry, we're going to get right into that in just a moment as we cover the news. We have a few articles to actually go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the latest news and go backwards. Okay, so the latest news came out about 2 days ago on May 25th. So Castor Maritime announces deliveries of the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗦𝗡 Nebula and the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗙𝗡 and the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗙𝗘. So here we go, going through the articles. On May 20th, 2021, Castor took delivery of the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗦𝗡 Nebula, the 2010 Korean-built Kamsarmax dry bulk carrier it had agreed to acquire as previously announced on March 10th, 2021. Alright, going on May 21st, 2021, Castor took delivery of the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗙𝗘, the 2005 Korean-built Aframax tanker it had agreed to acquire as previously announced on April 16, 2021. The 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗙𝗘 has been entered into an unaffiliated tanker pool specializing in the employment of Aframax tanker vessels. And now on May 23rd, 2021, Castor took delivery of the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗙𝗘, the 2015 Chinese-built Kamsarmax dry bulk carrier it had agreed to acquire as previously announced on April 19th, 2021. The 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗙𝗘 was delivered to the company with a time charter contract attached with a reputable charter at a daily gross charter rate equal to 114% of the Baltic Panama Index and with an estimated remaining term of about 17 to 21 months. All 3 of these acquisitions were financed in their entirety with cash on hand. Of course, this is great news that it was all financed with cash on hand. However, we do know that not too long ago they did the $18 million financing. So most likely, or probably most, if not all of the money was used to purchase these vessels. Alright guys, so there's the first update regarding these 3 vessel deliveries. However, only 2 of the 3 acquired vessels have agreements. So the 2005 Korean-built Aframax tanker has been put into a tanker pool specializing in the employment of Aframax tankers. And then on the 2015 Chinese-built Kamsarmax dry bulk carrier, it has been put into a time charter agreement with a rate equal to 114% of the Baltic Panamax Index with about a term remaining of 17 to 21 months. So as for the first one, the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗦𝗡 Nebula, the 2010, still no agreement on that one that has been announced. At the end of the day, even with these deliveries and time charter agreements or employment pool agreements, the stock still hasn't done enough. It hasn't done any real increasing over the last month, few weeks. Alright guys, so we're going to get on to the major news, one that should be announced first. However, we're just going to go in order. So this came out last Friday, May 21st. Castor Maritime Inc. announces reverse stock split to be effective May 28th, 2021. So the recording of this video is on May 27th. So that is tomorrow that this reverse stock split will take effect for Castor Maritime. Alright, so let's go through the article. So Castor Maritime Incorporated, a diversified global shipping company, announces that its board of directors, the board, has determined to effect a 1-for-10 reverse stock split of the company's common shares. The company's shareholders approved the reverse stock split by a ratio of not less than 1-for-2 and not more than 1-for-75, and granted the board the authority to determine the exact split ratio and when to proceed with the reverse stock split at the company's annual meeting of the shareholders held on November 25th, 2020. The reverse stock split will take effect and the company's common shares will begin trading on a split adjusted basis on the NASDAQ capital market as the opening of trading on May 28, 2021. Okay, let's just move down in the article here. So when the reverse stock split becomes effective, every 10 of the company's issued and outstanding common share will be combined into one issued and outstanding common share without any charge to the par value of 0.001 per share of any shareholder's ownership percentage of the company's common shares. This will reduce the number of outstanding outstanding common shares from approximately 899.6 million shares to approximately 90 million shares. No fractional shares will be issued in connection with the reverse stock split. Shareholders who would otherwise receive a fraction of a common share of the company will receive a cash payment in lieu thereof. The reverse stock split is undertaken with the objective of meeting the minimum $1 per share requirement for maintaining the listing of the company's common shares on NASDAQ. So this was something we knew was coming. If you are an investor in Castor Maritime, you are following the stock, you knew that they had to meet that objective of being $1 or more for 10 consecutive days on the NASDAQ. Now, back in February, they did meet the $1 objective for 11 days. However, since then, for the last 3+ months, it has been under $1 and well below $1, as we see in the 36-cent range here, hitting the 40 cents over the last few weeks. So obviously they needed to do this to stay on the NASDAQ. Otherwise, they would have to go to the OTC, go to the pink sheets, which would probably have a lot less interest. Now, end of the day, I'm not a big fan of reverse stock splits, as this is only going to make the share cost more initially. Obviously, there's going to be less shares, less common shares. But based on the price today being that the 36, 37 cent range, the stock is going to cost tomorrow about, $360, $370 per share. Castor Maritime, well, actually the whole entire bulk shipping sector is not very glamorous, and there's not a huge interest in it. And I believe one of the attractive qualities of Castor Maritime was because they're growing so aggressively, picking up new vessels, acquiring new vessels, getting all these time charter agreements in such a short period of time, and being at the price it is, it's a very attractive stock, very attractive company to be in. However, coming in at $3.70, $3.60, I believe this is going to deter people from getting into Castor Maritime, becoming an investor. Because if they're willing to spend almost $4 per share of a stock, I believe there are better investments out there. Especially now with the crypto market being so insane, so exploding so rapidly, that I would rather put that money elsewhere. And as we saw on the charts, right from the announcement last Friday when they did the announcement, it was trading about that 43 cents, and it immediately did a dive to about 36 cents. You can see it on the chart, and that is because of this news. So I'm not the only one who's not a huge fan of reverse stock splits. So many are. Probably a lot of people are going to exit their position. I see many people just exiting their position and taking that loss, or they could be in the green, right? And just moving on. All right, guys, going to go on to the next article. So the third and final article is from May 17th. Castor Maritime Incorporated announces new vessel acquisitions and the delivery of the MV Magic Vela. Castor Maritime Incorporated, a diversified global shipping company, announces that it entered through two wholly owned subsidiaries into agreements to acquire a 2013 Japanese-built and a 2014 Korean-built Panamax dry bulk carrier from an unaffiliated third party for a purchase price of $19.06 million and $21 million, respectively. Acquisitions are expected to be consummated by taking delivery of the vessels within the third and fourth quarter of this year and are subject to the satisfaction of certain customary closing conditions. The 2013 Japanese-built dry bulk carrier will be delivered to the company with a time charter contract attached with a reputable charterer at a daily gross charter rate of $11,650 and with an estimated remaining term of about 2 to 4 months. So the time charter agreement on the low side for about 2 months would be about $700,000 is what they would make in revenue. If it's about 3 months, they're looking at getting around just over $1 million for that contract, and with 4 months coming in at about $1.4 million. So anywhere from $700,000 to about $1.4 million is what they expect to make in the short term of like 2 to 4 months. So that's a pretty decent size. However, the rate is pretty low, $11,650. Generally, most of the rates have been much higher. We've seen $19,000, $21,000. So this one's coming in, looks like to be a little on the low side. Okay, so let's continue with the article here. So the agreement for the 2014 Korean-built Panamax dry bulk carrier contains a final purchase price adjustment mechanism, pursuant to which, in the event that the delivery of the vessel is concluded after July 20th, 2021, the purchase price shall be reduced by $10,500 per day from that day and until the day a valid notice of readiness for delivery is tendered by the seller. Alright guys, so what this means is that if Castor Maritime does not receive this vessel by July 20th, 2021, each day that they're late on the delivery, $10,500 will be reduced from that purchase price of $21 million. So if they're 1 day late, the purchase price will be $21 million minus the $10,500. If they're 2 days late, it's going to be $23,000 minus, and so forth. In other news, still on the article, the company also announced that on May 12, 2021, it took delivery of the MV Magic Vela, the 2011 Chinese-built Panamax dry bulk carrier it had agreed to acquire as previously announced on April 28, 2021. The MV Magic Vela acquisition was financed in its entirety with cash on hand. The CEO of Castor Maritime, Petros, had this to say: "We are happy to announce the acquisition of 2 additional Panamax vessels, Following the delivery of the 𝗙𝗙𝗢𝗙𝗘𝗏, our fleet consists of 14 vessels, and after the completion of our announced acquisitions, our fleet will consist of 26 vessels across the dry bulk and tanker segments. So of course, on a fully delivered basis, Castor will own a fleet of 26 vessels consisting of 1 Capesize, 7 Kamsarmax, and 10 Panamax dry bulk vessels, as well as 1 Aframax, 5 Aframax LR2, and 2 MR1 tankers. Alright, there you have it, guys. 3 huge new announcements that we needed to cover. Now, going forward, it's really hard to say what's going to happen regarding price prediction, because with this reverse stock split, we're not really sure what's going to happen. We're going to find out very shortly. We're going to find out tomorrow and see how the trading goes. But I believe we're going to lose a lot of interest in this company as I mentioned, dry bulk isn't very glamorous. There's not a lot of huge interest in this company or the overall dry bulk shipping industry in general. So I see a lot of people just starting to really contemplate what they can do with their money. As for myself, I probably wouldn't get into it at this price. Now, obviously we have less shares, so that's also another factor to consider and may be very important for some people. However, I see a lot of people, they want quick money. They want to go on cheaper deals. That's why a lot of people are into crypto nowadays, because all these new coins coming out are in the sub penny, where for $100 you can pick up, depending, sometimes it's 1 million, sometimes it's 10 million, sometimes it's 100 million of these coins, of these crypto coins. And then you have a lot of potential upside, right? Because you're either going to lose $100, maybe these are scams going on, you lose your entire $100, or you could make millions, right? As we've seen from others out there. Now with Castor Maritime coming in at $3.60, $3.70, you can really only buy about 30 shares tomorrow. Many people right now are going to think, hey, should I buy 30 shares of this one company, or do I have a better chance at making money buying this brand new coin where I can get like 10 million or 100 million coins for the same price? And there wasn't a whole lot of interest in Castor Maritime prior to the split, being in the 30 cents, 40 cent range. So I don't see there being a huge new amount of buyers or interest or new investors coming at the almost $4 range. I don't think it's actually going to attract any attention, as I mentioned. Of course, as we know, Castor Maritime had no choice to remain on the NASDAQ. They had to do this split. But keep in mind that a reverse stock split can improve the share price over the short term. It's still important to remember that the market cap of the company has not changed. Still the same market cap, guys. At the end of the day, and most analysts would agree, that it's usually like a negative, a very negative sign when a company does a reverse stock split, because they're forced to do it. Investors tend to treat this as like a smoke screen, and the price can continue to fall and this way has so much more room to fall. So I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to just wait to see how it is for the next few days, see what goes on with the company, see what goes on with the price, and then provide you guys all with an update next week. Unfortunately, guys, I don't think it's looking good for Castor Maritime at this time, and hopefully there's some more improvements. But even as we've seen with all these deliveries, all these acquisitions for new vessels, the price still hasn't actually gone up. So it's quite interesting to see why it hasn't actually moved that much over the last couple months. And not to mention, regarding the BDI, the Baltic Exchange Dry Index, it fell for the 3rd straight session to 2,688 for today on Thursday, the lowest since April 20th, just a couple weeks back. So it's still very high. When you look at the map, it's still doing very, very well. However, it did reach that real high of 32 and change couple weeks back. So now that it's in the red, this is definitely something that's also hindering Castor Maritime's performance. If the Baltic Dry Index goes down, really, of course, Castor is going to follow suit. So as mentioned, guys, things aren't looking good. I'm not going to be putting any more money into Castor Maritime, and I'm going to be monitoring whether I think it's time to exit the position or not, because although I did believe it was a long-term hold, but I'm not a huge fan of this reverse stock split, so I'm just going to monitor it for the time being, guys. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys got value out of this video. I know it's a little longer than usual, but of course, if you want to get some free money, you want some free stocks, sign up for Webull. I got a link in the description below, and if you deposit $100, you're going to get 2 free stocks valued at over $1,850. And of course, guys, please consider subscribing and turning on those post notifications. And as always, guys, good luck out there. Happy trading, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.